so frequently now.
And we'll be keeping our eyes on what it's going to be. IG, they are actually the ones to ban away the Akali as Royal Never Give Up find their way onto blue side. And again, look at a very early priority Kai'Sa, but the Aatrox is open.
They're banning out the picks I already mentioned, so Zac is gone. RNG don't want to deal with it. It used to be a Karsa special, but now they have to respect Ning's pick. That being said, if you can find a way to upset Uzi's positioning, Invictus Gaming need to go for the pick. It's unfortunate that they banned out the Gragas as well. A jungler that can do that hurts them, or at least helps them.
And I wonder if once again it's just the Ashe Tahm-Kenz in response. There is a chance that the Ashe changes to something like the Xayah. Of course, Rakan is already banned, but Xayah in her own right can deal decently well with the Kai'Sa. It has got lane control regardless. The risk is, of course, if a Soraka shows up against you, you're going to have a pretty bad day. Now, I don't think we'll see the 80 carry pick just yet. Tahm-Kenz was the priority to take that from RNG, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, no need to rush that right away, but Royal Never Give Up trying to limit away Jackie Love as much as they can with that Varus ban and the very early Kai'Sa pick on blue side. They don't even have to show that much against it, but a Jace hover being looked at from Royal Never Give Up as they see the Urgot on the other side. And Karsa, he's just toying with the crowd right now as Taliyah gets locked in.
Remember, that is a blind pick Taliyah. Electrocute got nerfed. So for the damage coming through, we saw Karsa still have a great performance in the Taliyah in the playoffs. But he has to know that he's going to be picking into an all-in jungler. Something like I'd say a Nocturne is actually a pretty good option.
And Let Me says Duke comes in. He wants to play tanks. Let's pick the biggest one.
There we go.
Let's pick the best tank that we can possibly find. That Sion secured now for RNG in the top lane is a big power pick. It makes you wonder what Duke will play in response to that, or if he is in fact the Urgot, and it goes top.
We'll see where that ends up being flexed, as like you mentioned, it is a bottom lane focus from Invictus Gaming as they will once again ban away Ming's Alistar. Poor guy just can't get a break. That Gragas, that Rakan, 3 potential bans towards him as he's been putting up work over the past few weeks. But IG on that red side, we've got to wonder, will we see red side rookie?
They do get an extra ban for themselves this time. There's no need to get rid of the Lissandra as they do not have an Akali. So there's a chance they go towards another support. There's also a chance that they pick towards the middle lane and they try and take something big away from Xiaohu to give a favorable matchup for rookie.
And knowing that their rookie favorable matchup might be coming through the red side rookie, super crucial that Invictus Gaming do nail that down, because RNG holding their support for second phase, they've done this in game 1, and if you just look through the history of Uzi and Ming together, they play mage supports in the bottom lane to get that control when they have doubt on the top side of the map. So I would expect Ming to go for maybe not a Soraka, but a Karma maybe.
Running out of options now though, that's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that Braum that you mentioned in game 1 could be open as we're just counting down the list with the coach of RNG, Coach Hart, trying to get his team towards that golden year as Royal Never Give Up with the 1-0 in this series.
I mean, it might be crazy, but opportunities for things like a Zyra, maybe the Thresh, something that you could consider here for Ming. Give a bit of extra pick into their composition.
Yeah, we just get that oomph in their early game. Know that they have the Taliyah. She's already going to be looking to the bottom side of the map.
Yep.
So the engage option is often, I mean, it's something that you look towards. Pyke has been so good in Europe, so I'd love to see it picked out here.
That's true.
And now we're looking at the jungle pick for Ning. Once again, that Xin Zhao being hovered as Kane swapped out.
Okay.
In. Wow, it's been a while since we've seen Kane, but Ning with a smile bringing it back.
It's his favorite champion. When he came onto the RIP, initially with Invictus Gaming, we got to see Ning's Kane. For him to bring it out once more, it's styling. I want to see what he can do though. Knowing that the all-in engage, I expected the Nocturne. We already know that he got banned out with Lee Sin and Olaf, but now we get to see what his answers are into Karsa's Taliyah.
And you're right, he was the one that brought the Kane out first, and it's a risky champion to go for because you take so long to scale up. But of course, when you look at your opponents with the Kai'Sa there, with the Sion that doesn't have a crazy early game impact, is just crowd control, and now a Rise to boot, that Kane pick does have the opportunity. It does have the chance to find a lane to go towards and actually scale up, get that evolve, and be super relevant.
And remember, we've been seeing a lot more Dark Harvest junglers out there, and that's actually been Kane's strongest point, is that he farms up super quickly, gets onto the map, and if he can nullify the early pressure coming out of Talia, then he can go into the Ross Kane and start really having massive pressure on the top side of the map.
It looks like Invictus Gaming take a page out of RNG's book, as they've got some really big zone control and protection to take a front to back with their carries. That Ross to set up AoE, the Urgot, the Tahm Kench to save the back line, but RNG will be the ones trying to flip the fight once again. Sion to charge into the back, Talia Wall to split it, that Realm Warp we were talking about. It all comes down to these fights once again.
And the big question's always going to be, how does a Kane fit into IG's composition? We may actually get a chance to see this happen on the Rift. The thing I want you to consider is that if Kane finds Uzi, if Kane finds Kaiser, you can follow her on that magical journey through the rest of the map if she ults away. If she ults to your team, you're right there with her. Got the crowd control, got the chance to lock her down.
And once again, the coaches navigate their way into mid lane, standing before the trophy.
Wait, he touched that
Coach
trophy?
Hart,
Talking to each other right now.
He's the defending champion coach. He can afford to touch the trophy.
All right, that's
Raz.
fair. All right, I give it to him. I give it to him. But if you lose the next game, you can't touch it until the last one.
We'll see if it is going to be equalized, as Invictus Gaming laughing and smiling under pressure. Rookie and Jackie Love, they've cracked before under the stage lights. Can they keep their medal today?
And it's a big fight for first seed. IG can be happy because they already get to go to World's first or second seed, but there's so much pride on the line. It's good to see smiles from them. It means that their mental is still very strong after that game one.
And remember, this is Rookie's first finals. He has not touched that cup in his career. When he came to LPL, and he's been known as the best mid laner since he touched down, and he's been getting MVPs, but not the crown just yet. He wants that touch.
He's currently sitting at 100% win rate in finals. He's won every finals that he's been to. And now his first in the LPL. Can Rookie return and retain that victory as we prepare to load onto the Rift? Royal never give up with a 1-game lead. Let's see if we're going to approach match point or if IG are going to even the field.
I can only hope that everyone at home can hear just how loud this crowd is here for us in Nanjing, because it is absolutely deafening when they all roar in unison in support of the teams today.
And they just don't stop until like first blood happens. I mean, right now it's tame. You gotta be focused. Don't want to mess with the players on the stage because they're gonna hear you. So honestly, you're at a point where Ning comes out with that Kane. Dark Harvest King. He wants to farm it out. I wonder if he can, because remember, the top side of the map is going to be pushing into him.
That's
Invade coming through.
Sweeper. 3 members from RNG forcing Ning out from that red buff. He turns onto the Raptor camp as the red buff is being stolen, and RNG engage in a lane swap.
And it's important to point out how good Kane is at soloing the Raptor camp out by himself.
Is he going to smite it?
Ming with the auto.
Doesn't get it.
Ning slows it down, but gets level 2 by clearing out the camp.
Very risky, holding on to a smite, but he had to do it. Oh no, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. I was wondering who was doing it. I was a little bit afraid.
Letme's going to get the red buff. He's going to deny that vertical jungle away from Ning as well. Remember, that's a vertical jungle, that's a Scion, that's a lane swap that RNG have enacted here that they have put into play.
And right back out onto the map, Letme on this Scion. Now in a very hard lane, has to catch these minions as they are crashing in, and Ning will be spotted trying to make his way to the red.
Duke is going to have such a hard time. He wants to be able to take the matchup so he can abuse Letme, but Letme having red buff, the Glacial Augment, if he finds a pick, he's going to go at you, and he has the sustain.
They're getting the autos. Baolen taking aggro.
I don't think you can do this.
Half health. Jackie Love takes a hit. Letme with the first auto. He's looking for Ning.
What are you doing?
I don't know, buddy.
Oh no, Ning doesn't juggle the aggro correctly, and Letme comes up huge.
The turrets still seem to be ramped up in the damage that it dealt as well. Big mistake coming out of Invictus Gaming. It effectively one-hits Ning, and Letme is just sitting so pretty.
The moment Tahm Kench got the tower hit first, and you know what, your jungler wasn't there, you cannot take that dive. Q is already ranked up by Letme, so it's so disastrous here for Invictus Gaming.
Already a 700 gold lead, 3 minutes in after how that shakes out. Karsa well on his way to becoming a strong mage on that Talia. Let me happy now to absorb this constant push from Jackie Love and Baolan.
Take a look at the game time. I want to know when Duke gets that next CS. The second one, when is he going to do it? Because he cannot touch that wave that's constantly hitting his tower.
To me, this looks a lot like Invictus Gaming. We're not prepared for a lane swap. And of course, they weren't prepared for it to happen, but prepared to deal with it when it happens. You'll find Duke goes towards bottom lane. Jackie also had the teleport, so he could have went top, but the play doesn't happen. RNG, anything you can do, I can do better right now.
Already matching it. I mean, Invictus Gaming didn't want to immediately swap with teleport. They could have happened, but they wanted to see if they could dive Let Me first. But that risk did not pay off, and now you're in a situation where Duke has to go. Vamos, get out of here. You can't take the CS any longer.
He's up to a measly 5, a paltry 5 CS, level 2, 4 minutes into the game, and forced to make his way back. The ex-world champion is getting shut down by RNG.
And think of the consequences here. Duke, if he gets to 20 minutes into the game as a Urgot with no items going towards what is possibly just carry and Black Cleaver, what is the benefit? He can't really deal any damage to a tank that's probably not even going to be there because Let Me's going to be looking for a fight with much more, cheaper builds. So this is great for Let Me, where it's catastrophic for Duke.
And it's a 10 CS lead even in the AD carry position because IG is spending time and resources trying to match their opponents down. So Uzi gets a lead, Duke gets a deficit where Let Me gets a massive lead as well. And across the map here for RNG, barring that middle lane, everything is going to plan.
We do have to talk about that middle lane. Xiaohu versus Rookie. This is the champion that Rookie has made an absolute name on himself for. That Zoe even getting into the Penta with a huge triple kill paddle star. If ever there was a setup champion for IG, this is it.
And that's where usually the lane swaps break. When I was coaching, a lot of it was in the days of the lane swap. And if you are in a really bad position, the jungler would look mid, try and open the matchup so they can set up for a side lane play and break up these lane swap situations. Issue is, you're on a Kane. Kane cannot gank through mid. It is so difficult to do it. Doesn't matter how well Rookie's doing here and how much of a pounding Xiaohu's getting. So he can just come back mid, play it completely safely, and what can Kane do other than just farm?
Looking for a place that Kane wants to be.
Yeah, looking for that Dark Harvest as level 6 for Let Me against level 3 for Duke. Let Me just being a bully, walking under the turret, doesn't harass, doesn't take the trade as Ning is scrambling to keep pace with Karsa.
And it's just so daunting here. Duke has to take that wave. Ning has to be there. If he's not there and they have a whiff that Karsa's going to be looking for a dive top lane, that's it for Duke. That's lights out. He needed to take that wave. He got the experience.
Even cancels the recall in middle lane. Karsa very smart coming out of the jungler of RNG. That denies a lot of minions into the hands of Rookie. Xiaohu just walks back to lane. Note that no mid laner has teleport. So the time that it's going to take him to walk there, that's pretty much a cleared wave for Ryze. That's also a level 6 Ryze who has just shopped that can leave his lane and now has that added ability. So RNG playing smart, knowing full well that if they unlock their mid laner, they can dive.
That semi-global composition has so much mobility. If they ever want to take a fight, they can find it. As Ning will finally finish off his red buff. Still not quite level 6. Rushing as close as he can, but Karsa level 5.
And when you're in a split side lane right now, you can get a gank here. Here we go.
He's been spotted. Ooh, a heal allows Baolan to sidestep. Credit volley forces Jackie Love back.
There we go. I mean, nice that they were able to get out of that situation. It would have been incredibly unfortunate because that would have been an Infernal Dragon as well. That's how much is on the line in the bot lane. Yep. That being said, here's the issue. Ning wants to get to Rast. How is he going to do that? Skirmish up. You're being traded up on sides. This is actually the first time that the lanes have met, so you can't really look for it. It's going to be rough for him.
And when you really think about it, Ning's only viable target for Rust is Let Me. And you can hit the Scion for certain. You can deal damage to the Scion. But that's not the place you want to be on the map if you want to control this game right now. Uzi and Ming are consistently pushing. Karsa is consistently on the bottom side of the map. And if you show top lane just to hit Let Me to get Rast a little bit closer, you are suffering the consequences.
Look at that. Ning.
Oh no.
Gonna have to try and defend this. That's the Devourer used. Auto attacks if they're moving under the turret. Ming takes aggro, and here comes Let Me out of the Didn't even see him disappear, but it's 2 kills to RNG.
But they heard the calls, and that's it. The 2-2 train riding right up board, and that was the killing blow on a Jackie Love.
Very good stuff here from RNG, following with what was an early lead into an early snowball. That's the first turret blood as well that'll go solo to Uzi. That's 600 gold into his pockets. 2 kills for Let Me, and there is not a chance that Duke can actually deal with that Scion. This has gone from bad to worse because RNG, you can't give them leads like this.
I mean, you can see the gold difference. It's 800, nearly 900 gold lead for Uzi as a result of that, even in mid, but a 300 gold lead for Karsa, and Let Me in the top lane is 1,200 gold ahead of Duke, who's still level 5 to Let Me's level 7. Finally, he takes over to 6. Okay. Now he can finally execute someone, if he can ever get into a position to do so.
But the matchup has completely changed. The damage, oh my goodness, speaking of damage, Xiaohu, please get out of there.
Yeah, he doesn't go towards Merc Treads or a Nullifying Orb by any means. Or Nullifying Orb, no Magic Mantle. He goes towards another Mana Crystal, so he's actually very fragile in that middle lane. Of course, Cleanse and Flash available, so he won't die. But you can see Rookie has got control. That is the one place for IG where there is control. And
it could give direction to what Invictus Gaming's next plan is. If you can hit another Sleepy Trouble Bubble, you have a Tahm Kench that's trying to find an out of this lane. He can look for a situation around mid, send Jackie Love there as well so he can get the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, sends a dive for Ning as well. I love that option. Just needs to have some freedom in the bottom side of the map.
Now Rookie with push in the mid lane. Sees
just
Xiaohu go
top.
missing, but
no.
Duke is going top. IG looking for a dive bottom. Battlestar is ready. Ming takes the hit. Uzi still firing. Arrow onto the front line. Ming is blocking as much as he can. He finally goes down. Uzi 1v4, dodges one, but gets picked up by Ning out of the back, and IG successfully find 2 kills.
And that's the interaction we're talking about earlier. Kane can very easily follow this. Teleport's coming in. RNG.
Going in. He's unstoppable. It's not nap time for him. Jackie Love is running away with a Baolan with the save. Ning finally drops as Rookie over the wall chases Karsa and locks him down. Another Realm Warp gets Xiaohu in there. He drops down the kill onto Jackie Love and follows up with a double onto Baolan. RNG traded back.
Pure chaos, but it's RNG with the flank. The run coming in and being able to just demolish Jackie Love and Baolan. They had no way out.
Again, RNG are the ones controlling the chaos in this game number 2, so they are the ones set to succeed. Camera pans to top lane, and notice there's only 6 CS between top laners now, so credit to Duke, but Let Me's winning the game everywhere else on the map, so there's nothing that Duke could really do to affect this. I think he had teleport available this whole time, however, and chooses not to come in.
But the best thing about this dive is you have Kane level 6, so if he gets tower aggro, you can use your ultimate. Same with Tahm Kench, that is of course just really tanky, but can save whoever needs to be saved. That being said, they took so much damage, so the teleport coming in through from Scion was detrimental to Invictus Gaming.
Not spotted until the last possible second. Rookie has the ability to sidestep, but the remaining 3 members of IG do not. Pinned against the wall, they go down like fish in a barrel as RNG collapse.
And Rookie is trying his absolute hardest for certain. And note that Duke did still have teleport through all of that. And I feel like there is a world where he came in, maybe even for the dive, as it happened in the bottom lane. He was looking for Let Me to stop his teleport, but there was a long period of time where he was able to react. Chooses not to, so he still has got the teleport up. That is an advantage that IG now have for themselves if they choose to make a play.
And we have to differentiate in how RNG took their advantage by diving bottom. They followed it up with the turret. When ING took their advantage by diving bottom, they followed it up by losing a secondary team fight against Royal Never Give Up. Now RNG are moving their attention top with Rift Herald, and still the momentum is building for this snowball composition.
Yeah, RNG right now with their comp have to be feeling so confident, knowing that they've gotten to a position where Uzi moving towards the Storm Razor is only going to get worse for Invictus Gaming because the damage is starting to ramp up.
Uzi's got that rise to output magic damage, so happy to go for the crit build Kaisa instead. Now they saw teleport top from Jackie Love, and Infernal Dragon is picked up by RNG, and the next one, another Infernal.
And I think looking forwards for RNG, their next big power play is to use that Rift Herald in the middle lane and just break that one open. Rookie does seem to be the last bastion of hope for Invictus Gaming right now, and that does mean that if you put your focus towards that area, find an opportunity to get in there and break the turret down, he is in a less safe space, and it is harder for him to rotate to fights in the first place.
And it just empowers the rise as well. You just open up mid lane. That being said, Karsa is going to be the one that's getting opened up
looking
on.
for an assassination. Karsa so low. Ning finds the solo kill. Flashes over the wall. Trying to go one-on-one against Xiaohu as Xiaohu picks up red. and Ning just gets in and out.
Super well played, just hunting towards the red buff. Ning is finding something out of nothing.
The fact that he gets that solo kill in the first place, Talia going down, Karsa being on the red buff side, being on the bottom side of the map as well, does mean that he was looking towards mid lane potentially, while RNG were diffusing the top side of the map. So that does actually buy so much time for Invictus Gaming overall. And he gets the evolve.
That must have been the difference. Wait a second.
He's gone for the Wizards build.
I have no
Could
idea
that
what
very
that's
well be the AD?
I don't remember because of the skin,
Assassin?
but he's got a
Yeah.
Wizard's hat, so I think it is the Assassin build.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Ning trying to go for the high damage. Remember, it was the same style for IG in game one. If they can kill Uzi, they win the fight because of so many damage threats from IG's side, and RNG just need to keep him alive.
Yeah,
But
it is.
Ning,
Wow.
So they have no tanks directly in that composition. It's a Black Cleaver for the Urgot. It's a Tahm Kench that builds Zeeks usually we've been seeing lately. So he has a single tank item, but it's not a dedicated tanking role. It's defensive. They have, once again, they've supplemented what was the Akali in game number 1 for a Kayn in game number 2 to take someone down immediately.
arrow catches Ming. Karsa sets up the counterplay as Ning goes in and gets knocked up immediately. Flung. Baolan gets the save, but Ming goes down. Lemmy dives it, but that's 5 members of IG hugging the turret. It's Duke going in. He found Xiao, who pulls him forward. Ready for the execution and finds another one. It's 1 for 2 in favor of IG.
In and out. Sure, Ning goes down, but Baolan being able to save him out and playing this longer fight is working out well for Invictus Gaming.
Very surprised Duke went for the flash play there as well, but he's able to net himself Shahu, the Fear Beyond Death, locking him down. IG, they have weathered this storm considering how the early game has gone. Not so bad at all.
Only 1,000 gold down, but that's the recall being used by IG. Rift Herald pop mid as Karsa shoves the wave as quick as he can. Abyssal Voyage to try and get Rookie there a little bit faster, but Shelly is going to charge. There's nothing they can do to stop it, but they will be able to defend the turret. IG hold their ground, though Uzi delays his recall to end up taking top.
Yeah, Uzi taking top lane. In fact, opening both outer turrets in the side lanes going to be crucial. Helps out the Rise in Kai'Sa so much at being able to isolate the side laners. Duke needs those towers open if he wants to be able to split push. It's not going to be an option if you have those people really eyeing you with great defensive wards.
And do note that it is the cleanse on Rise in the middle lane, so he's not going to be teleporting everywhere. It's not going to be a 1-3-1 or what RNG do, which is their 3-2-0 assignments as well. That potential is, it's there to a degree. The Rise ultimate doesn't cover full lanes in distance, so not as safe for him, and there's a chance that whilst they can go for side lane and for split push, that Rise will just group up with the team.
Shahu has his flash, so he can look for a flash rune prison if RNG wanted to try to hunt down a pick, but Rookie is just landing bubble after bubble. Here comes Karsa, there we go, the chase down, he flashes away with a late cleanse auto attack, and Rookie set to escape, but Uzi finds the kill. Stopwatch, Duke landed the Fear Beyond Death, Ning tries to get it, and that's Uzi finding another kill, manages to chomp down onto Karsa in the meanwhile.
Oh my goodness, getting the kill before you can ulti. Both Rookie and Ning down so quickly.
Yeah, the stopwatch buys a whole lot of time. The turret falls down, the Rift Herald sets it up, RNG knock it down later because they're able to group up constantly. And IG, whilst it looked good from Rookie, he wins the trade. He has to step up to win that trade, and that's where Talia just finds the opportunity, presents itself, and he comes in to capitalize.
And that's the semi-global composition from RNG in action. Karsa with the Weaver's Wall, Uzi with the Killer Instinct if he wanted to try and chase it down. The only thing we were missing was Letney. Freight training his way down, and speak of the devil himself.
I mean, you're not going to go over the wall, but you're certainly going to scare them away.
I was half expecting him to just flash and start charging a knock-up. But no, he decides to take the safe route instead, and instead heads up top.
That being said, expect the unexpected. I remember seeing a top 5 play from a Rise Scion composition in Latin America. So that being said, here's the opening here. Rookie getting Ion, 4 people looking for the kill. And sure, you have Urgot and coming through along with Ning, but that's simply not enough.
Yeah, and of course Uzi able to lock him down with the W. Karsa with that stopwatch denies the Fear Beyond Death for a significant amount of time. And during that time, they're able to win the trade, get the turret afterwards, and grow that gold lead to keep it at around 2,000.
And Ning lunging into the jungle of RNG to get vision on that red buff, trying everything that he possibly can to track Karsa and allow his lanes to look for safe farming, but RNG are just playing the map so intelligently that they're denying Ning any entry.
And they have an eye on their pies. 10 seconds until the Infernal Dragon comes up. Uzi teleports mid just so we can get the push. It's interesting that we see Kane getting an opening first, but they shouldn't be able to hold the wards that they have.
No, he doesn't have a direct opening to it. He sees where the wards are, but he doesn't clear them. So he knows that there's one in the pit in the back side of it. Also, the ward's just to the top of him. He should be aware of where they are. But that doesn't mean that they'll get access to start this dragon. It just means they want to deny RNG from doing that. In fact, they are going to take this. They know full well that RNG will be here at a moment's notice. They want the team fight.
Looping around. Remember, this is Infernal Dragon number 2. That's a teleport from behind, getting Let Me in there. Dragon picked up by Jackie Love. Let Me walking it forward. Nick trying to get away from this over the wall, but Uzi chases him down, and Kathian Rain gets the kill. A huge amount of CC allows them to chase. Uzi's over the wall, running down Rookie, finds a double kill as IG run to the hills.
Doing it all. Uzi just tracks you down. He's confident that the rest of the team will have that fight all down packed, and they do. No kill unscathed. It feels like Invictus Gaming are not going to be coming out of there.
The fact that Ning gets assassinated when he is the assassin, when he is designed to have that purpose, just shows how confident RNG are right now with the state of the game. What was the 2,000 gold lead in a matter of a minute becomes 4, becomes a sizable advantage to RNG that will reflect through the items as well, and they already were there.
Here we see that fight again. Jackie Love gets the auto. Ning split from his team. Uzi finds an opening.
And he just goes straight for Ning. This was at the same time that Let Me actually opened up his own ulti, so the space was created. Flashes over to because he just sees a rogue Zoe out there.
And can we just say how beautiful RNG set up that front line, forcing IG into the choke? Even if IG wanted to try to get back in, they would have to go through a Scion, a Braum, a Ryze. Slim to none if Jackie Love was going to look for an assassination, but again, Rookie splits off, and RNG find 2 kills.
That being said, Invictus Gaming did escape disaster picking up the Infernal Dragon. That would have been number 2 for RNG. So Jackie Love picking that up, go to sleep. All right, there we have it. Is great for Invictus Gaming because they still have an opening when the fight now centers around Baron.
What we just saw on the screen was the fan vote, as 71% of fans are voting for RNG to take this game. And earlier we saw the player fan vote heavily favoring Uzi at 33% out of 10 players on the Rift. 1 out of 3 people are giving him the MVP.
And a lot of this game comes down to the auxiliaries that are protecting him. When you think about the team compositions here, Let Me standing in the front line and trying to disperse the crowd of IG is the most important thing. That's where RNG find their advantages. The Ryze ultimate can be used, the Scion CC can be used, and Uzi finds access into the back line. For IG, if they get any opportunity, any look in of Duke and Ning being next to Uzi, he dies. Because that is the ultimate combo between them where they assassinate someone, and that actually gives Duke team fighting by having the fear afterwards. And that's what IG are after.
Agreed. But the execution is important. Uzi now having his 3 items, say the Rage Blade, Storm Razors, QSS, and Berserker's Greaves, means that he gets access to 2 of his evolutions, Q and E. If he can use his E at a perfect timing, Ning gets completely shut out. The windows are not there for him to use his ultimate on top of Uzi's head.
It almost connected.
Yeah, Xiaohu is playing a dangerous game with that Zoe maneuvering around, but as you said, Raz, it's all about Uzi getting the outplay, and there's a reason we call him Kung Xiaogao, the Mad Dog, because he will run you down to the ends of the earth if he finds an opportunity, and with the setup that he's got right now, he's more than set up to. We're all waiting for the killer instinct.
That was a dangerous one.
We were looking at it.
You never know when it comes to Uzi ready to press that ultimate. He does not miss a W at all, and now the pressure goes towards the red.
But this is 2018 Uzi. No longer will he just blindly follow in on these kills. He's got his team to back him up, but he's also got years of experience and conditioning to allow him to pick when the perfect opportunity is. So he no longer makes the risky plays of 2017 or 2016.
Still upkeeping the mechanics. So he could still follow it up, and I would say 8 out of 10 times he's going to be able to get the kill if he plays it right. So I'm at a state where the observer has to follow the extra member at all times because the fear is real for IG. If they get tagged, they might find themselves down under.
And we were thinking that IG would be the best composition, best competition that the LPL could provide against Royal Never Give Up. This was the final that was supposed to be in spring, and it went to Game 5, but so far in this series, RNG are just showing how many leagues further they have grown.
It displays a lot of preparation on RNG's side for the early game, for the place where IG are meant to be forging these leads, to the point where you're expecting RNG to hold the fort scale till late game, something that we did see in the first game when IG get those advantages. This playbook from RNG just completely demolished IG's early game and puts them into the team fighting type of position where IG don't have the lead, and that's when they start to crumble.
And remember, they could just turn it off. Say that we're not going to team fight you, RNG can, and just say we'll rem warp when we've actually pushed you completely out of your red side jungle into the Baron pit and try and burn it with our AD Kai'Sa. They can do it super easily. So RNG's done it during the regular season. Invictus Gaming have to know that and have that in the back of their heads. That's why they're contesting so heavily around the red side jungle, because they do not want to get pushed out. They cannot afford to lose that distance.
They're just trying to maintain vision over that Baron, but 4,000 gold down is giving a pretty hefty advantage to RNG. 2 items in the mid lane, 2.5, looking at 3 for Uzi in the bottom lane, but now Kai'Sa perhaps feeling himself a play as Letme sitting back in base with his teleport right off cooldown.
Yeah, we're ready to have some games around this middle lane. Definitely a place where RNG and IG, once again, if they control it, access to the Baron.
And the mid lane is what really decided the last time IG and RNG faced off week 8 of the regular season. It was Rookie on the rise, flashing over the wall, getting the kill onto Ming.
That's a big flank.
Yeah, he's just looking for it.
So RNG, they're looking in the middle lane. Ning, you can see him on the bottom side, is looking for them when they go to the Dragon. If he can get a flank off at all, that's where the assassinations come across. Think back to Karsa's Lee Sin in game number 1. From a point where they were in a deficit. If you find the backline access, and he is looking, but remember, RNG, they've pinged exactly where he is even though they don't have vision. They are aware.
Uzi's back to base. He's got teleport to get right back in, but that's a very forward ward. Goes to the turret instead to take it safe as he's finished off his runehands and races to catch up. But Dragon is up and IG are in position.
That's the 3rd Dragon, so they both have to fight for it to see if they can get the 2nd one.
Ming hawks over the wall. Now he's been spotted. He's got the smite ready as Dragon resets.
I know, he's
Paddle
isolated.
stars from Rookie. That's the blade of the Ring King. Jackie Love is the target. Balan with the save, but a Realm Warp gets them in. No! They've left Uzi behind. They need to save it, but Letme is able to get there and keep him safe. Ning forced to use the ultimate as it's melee in the front. Uzi goes back in and runs it down. Letme keeps him alive, and though 3 members of RNG are dead, the core of the composition is still alive. Uzi is firing away.
They lost track of him. The moment the Rise ulti came in, they're trying to figure out who
Whoa!
followed who. Oh.
Flash of Cathian Rain.
He is doing so well this game, popping off for the team fights, and that's a 2nd Infernal Dragon for RNG.
You can tell he wants the trophy. RNG with the team fight victory. Looked a little bit confusing at the start based off the Rise ulti, but everything works out in the end for Royal Never Give Up. Now they have control with 2 Infernals. You see the scuttle taken, top lane cleared. Baron is where they set up next.
It's so hard in those mucky team fights when the Rise ultimate goes through, trying to figure out what's the point of the fight. Invictus Gaming thought it was just trying to stick on top of Jackie Love. There we go.
That was the Abyssal Voyage to get the bottom lane of IG onto Letme, and they lock it down. Balan with the kill secure.
Oh, don't get me down now.
Uh-oh. He's got to be able to protect Jackie Love. He's running as fast as he can. Run, Jackie Love. Gets away with his life, though the turret is broken. And Royal Never Give Up, scrapping over everything.
That's a Glacial Augment sign I want to let you guys know. That guy's going to chase you down.
Uzi takes the hit, but there's Ning over the wall, knocked away, dashes forward. Kai'Sa can't close the distance. Ning escapes.
He was on worked ground, so only the single pebble comes out of Kai'Sa in that situation. Could have been the kill if there was more than one to be seen.
But with Ning off the map, they're turning onto the Baron. RNG are just running up the pace of the game and giving no breathing room to Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, Hawkshot coming through. Not enough time to give you. You have to let it go. RNG with Baron.
And they do it with Let Me Dead. They find the opportunity because they get Ning so low. They find map control that they should have had already from the fight that they won. IG do not get entry, do not get access, and they're able to lock that one down. You see this fight again. Now keep your eyes peeled on Ning, who flashes to burst them out. He now has no flash and is exhausted next to Uzi. So also it looks like Uzi's left alone. That's genius.
Yes, but also remember when the ultimate from Rise came out, Uzi had the option to join his team. He backed out at the last second and knew that he could take the flank. So Uzi recognizing the teamfight situation that he's fine alone. So well played from him.
I've seen this before.
Too many times.
Now he knows he hasn't been spotted. Still looking for an assassination, but you can see the damage in that last fight. Rookie coming up huge to try and equalize, bringing it down to a 2 versus 2 at that Dragon, but he couldn't get to Uzi. And now that the red buff is being taken, he's finished off his Mercurial Scimitar. That crit Kaisa is going to do some big damage.
And you would say it's not Rookie's job to find and assassinate Uzi, really, when the team fights happen. You're looking at Duke, you're looking at Ning, and you're looking at what they can potentially get done. If a front-to-back happens, Uzi is the one who dictates how he's going to die, basically. Is he going to ult into the backline and go crazy? Or is he just going to kite away from the assassins that are sprinting towards him? Right now, he's got the QSS. He's got a Braum next to him with Cleanse. Rookie's actually got a very hard job in this game now as he starts to scale off and everyone can get out of his bubbles.
There's a Braum, there's a beasting Scion. What is a Zoe to do when you start getting grouped up on? Your Sleepy Trouble bubbles, your actual DPS just diminishes so much with the tanks tanking it all.
Ning constantly looking for a flank, hunting for a way in, but RNG are relentless with this vision and keeping Uzi safe so that he can escort wave after wave. Xiao, who's split pushing top with the Realm Orb, can absolutely follow up as that Void Seeker splits in between, but the next wave crashes and RNG set their sights on this tier 2, and there's nothing IG can do to stop it.
Trying to hole in Battleland, not gonna happen, so close.
Weaver's Wall keeps IG away from the minion wave. Finally, they step up, but RNG still playing it safe in between every single one. Ning, I believe he just missed the way over the wall there.
But this is the least threatening flank. Remember, he is Blue King, so his flank's there just for a kill. But if he ever looks for it, Uzi's going to be able to get out of it. Zonya's there for Xiaohu, so the main burst of the ultimate of the Kayn is just not going to be relevant. Issue here is, what does Kayn do to start a fight other than just be an annoyance?
Duke forced to back away as the next wave crashes. Ning walks up, lands a slow onto Ming, but doesn't take it. Uzi firing shot after shot, or full items to the 3 items of Jackie Love.
And remember that Uzi has gone towards the AD build. In game number 1, he was AP, so he's gone for AD with the removal of Urgot from their team composition. Less assassination on a single member needed. He wants the pentakills in this one. He's looking for the 5v5. He's looking for the full front-to-back fight.
Righteous Glory, Blade of the Ruined King slows it down. Void Seeker, Uzi continues to hold on to the killer instinct. Just keeps the threat as he's pushing wave after wave. Baron for 10 seconds, but a slow onto Ming. Uzi dodges it.
RNG are doing such a great job at feigning a dive. Not saying that we want to dive you. I don't think you can follow up on this one.
Arrow onto Xiaohu. Rookie lands forward, separates Uzi from the fight with a trouble bubble, but Baolan steps up, and Uzi's chasing him down. That's Baolan dying. Ning gets it slow, but doesn't tag it. Now they found Duke. He's forced to back under the turret at such low health, but look at the shred.
Oh, so close.
He dives in, looking for Rookie. Finds it as they find the kill. Ning will separate him from his team. Dives inside with the Shadows trespass, but RNG right on top of him. Locked down yet another kill. Flashing over the wall to chase down Jackie Love. Casey in range. Triple kill to Uzi.
Look at Rookie though, he wants to 1v5, he has
But
to.
block the auto, then keep him alive! A quadra kill! Royal never give up. The team finally die to Rookie's Ignite.
It's pretty much a double ace between them. Caster is still here with no mana, Ming with no health, but they have got time. The inhib drops, but Baolan's alive. Maybe they don't even get the single inhib, he's ulting in.
Yeah, he could do this. Let's go. Big catch, baby. Take him to the court.
Baolan's working it down. That's the Ignite. One down,
Come
one
here.
to go. Flung away.
You have no mana. Let's go.
Baolan's on the prowl. Karsa is just turning and running. Get next to the terrain. Whoa, that was
he
flash.
flashed.
Go to Baolan.
Get over here.
He landed it. He's continuing to chase one more.
Oh, come on.
Misses the tongue lash, and Karsa escapes.
It was so close, but guess what? Guess who was the MVP of that team fight? Rookie sacrificed himself to get the last Ignite tick, the kill on Uzi that would have ended the game.
Yeah, that was a stone's throw away from the entire game ending. You'll see the fight here again. Ning with little to no impact, and Duke just running away for most of this one. You'll see Rookie come in and deal damage. It's a very extended fight, so you keep your eyes peeled on the later half of this when Rookie comes up huge as Uzi dives into the back.
It's real awkward for Invictus Gaming. Ning tries to come in for a flank, but already losing your Tom Kench allows for this to happen. A flash onto Kaisa. He's holding a little bit, but here's the issue. Yeah, you survived. Fairly low HP because Ning did a lot to you. But it's Rookie. Flash available. Not only does he come in for the execute, killing Letme, knows that the Ignite will do the trick on the Uzi, saves his team the game.
There's some very quick mats coming out of the Zoe in a desperate situation for the entire team. The Luden's even finding the kill on the Xiaohu at the most clutch moment that he didn't plan, but Rookie came up with everything.
And we have to celebrate how JackeyLove set Rookie up for that, going effectively 1 versus 4 to buy time for Rookie to do that damage, firing attack after attack. You have to imagine if he had been at 4 items, if he had had that last Whisper in that fight when he was going one-on-one against Letme, would things have gone completely different?
IG are looking once again to post up. They want to find a place where they can hold RNG at bay. Those turrets in mid and top lane are so low, and the inhibitor is open in the bottom lane. RNG, if they can control mid lane, they have control of the entire map. And with Baron in 30 seconds, IG, they have to put their foot down.
That's another bubble, but it does just tickle Letme. No Paddle Star to follow it as 34 minutes. Baron is up in 20, and RNG are poised next to the pit.
But I think Kai'Sa's starting to feel that, or at least, yeah, Kai'Sa and Karsa starting to feel the breeze. Because Rookie's sending those Qs through. Every single time Paddle Star comes through, it's always just that, a hair's breadth close of nailing the carries. It's that close from tilting the fight over to Invictus Gaming, and with Baron now up, can turn the game.
Balan fresh out of base, as he did just use that unsealed spellbook to teleport in.
No flash on Uzi, no flash on Karsa as well. So it's going to be a very limited summoner spell team fight if this does break out. That does mean that people can get taken down very effectively from picks. That's what you're looking at. RNG, if they get this, I think they just end the game. It's IG that has to step up.
Balan's trying to get some harass over the pit. Ward after ward is being placed. Ning, level 15 to the level 16 of Karsa, but RNG pull off. Rookie steps up, but backs away. Still, Ning hiding inside of the walls, doing everything he can to keep his presence unknown as Letme takes a big hit, but there's the Weaver's Wall.
Warmogs has now been picked up for Letme, so every damage just lasts. He needs to go back to base because they can't play around Baron if he's at half HP.
Yeah, he went for the Knight's Vow to support his AD. He went for the Randuins as well to prevent any crit from going onto him, but there's not a whole lot of crit on the opposing team. It's more for the slow to ensure he can get the kills, even after death.
Now the wave was prep bottom for Duke. He recalls to catch it, but luckily RNG do the same as they look for some final items. But we've got to talk about what those items are. Rabadon's death cap completed for Xiaohu. Uzi already at full build, finishing off his GA a short while ago, whereas it looks like IG are just scrambling for wards to make sure that they can be prepared for when this fight inevitably breaks out.
Yeah, Invictus Gaming just need the Sleepy Trouble bubbles. That's the one win condition they can look towards. If you can get it onto Uzi or Karsa, the very fragile carries, that's the way you win it. But there are so many threats from RNG that any real even team fight, you lose it.
The thing is, it has to be multi-layered. If a bubble gets a cleanse out, that's when an Ash Arrow can follow, because that is the only way that they get into this team fight. Baron once again started and cancelled.
Bubble onto the front of the pit. Ming walks up. He's managed to find Duke and Balan. No flash on Balan. He's dead. Duke turns and runs as
the Rise ulti
goes in. They're chasing. They're forcing the fight, and it's absolute chaos as they dive in. They manage to find Uzi, but he's got the GA. No, Karsa survives. Rookie gets the damage off the wall. Ning turns and runs. And JackeyLove doing damage against Letme, but Rookie finds one. Uzi chases it down and finds himself a double as RNG just split Invictus Gaming to pieces and chase it down, hammer down to Letme.
And when the Rise ultimate went through, exhaust on JackeyLove's head so he cannot participate. Invictus Gaming get wiped.
And they're just going to push for the base now. The inhib will fall. They're going to pick one lane. They're going to stick with it all the time in the world to end this game and send us to a match point.
RNG turning on to the Nexus. Respawn timers are not enough. And we could be witnessing something great as Royal Never Give Up. The defending champions are on match point for what could be the golden year.
We've seen the 15-minute game complete stomp against TOP. They went up against Rogue Warriors and blew them away. We still didn't expect them to do the exact same thing to Invictus Gaming. This is rough out here.
Now, the big thing you have to consider coming into this, it's 2-0. Yes, RNG have the advantage. I am surprised that Invictus Gaming made it to 35 minutes with how that game started. That was a desperate game for them to even stay in it. And RNG, they played them for the fools. They got the victory. They deserved the win. Uzi with a massive performance. You can see his damage dealt. IG still have fight in their system. And coming into that third game, if they can correct the wrongs of the early game, there's a chance they bring it back.
It's funny, even getting into this game, you heard it from Xiaohu. The two different styles of RNG, not just the team fighting, people think of them as a brute force team, the macro as well. For them to get such a incredible early game lead by that lane swap, insane, and the world must be watching because that was just so well played.
I mean, the world all has to have its eyes on this game because it will determine the first LPL seed to attend Worlds. And Royal never give up. We were saying IG would be the best competition to provide a challenge.
Yes.
If Royal never give up, 3-0, clean sweep, the best competition the world can provide, we've got to start to wonder what is next for this team. Can anyone bring them down?
Yeah, it's just a scary prospect to consider for RNG. They are on a roll right now, and I don't know if anyone can stop them, but if anyone can, it has to be Invictus Gaming in the next game.
Yeah, well, we'll have to find out if they can. It's time for our analysts to break down that game 2 RNG win.
Thanks, guys. Great cast. And, well, we got what we wanted, but I can't help but say not like this. You know, we come into the second draft, we look at the mid lane, it's like, hey, we've got a carry in the mid lane from Rookie. But then we look at the jungle, it's like, not you too. Don't, no, don't. And then we look at the draft right here and just fell apart coming out of that early game from RNG.
Now, the first thing that you do need to take notice is that Ning is known as a Kane player. He was the first one in the LPL to bring it up. I think he might have been the first one to bring it into competitive just because of when the LPL does start playing. And so it is a signature pick for him. That said, that did nothing. That was basically a 4v5 that entire game, but the theory made sense.
All right, so I have to go through why this happened. Invictus Gaming, they have 3 pushing lanes in the early game. They're looking at the main carries to be the jungle and mid. They can do anything in the opponent jungles. And RNG, they're really smart. They read the situation and they do the lane swap. They put Invictus Gaming so far behind. At this point in time, Ning cannot still have the mentality that he's going to go for Assassin Kane and think that he's going to go big DPS because he's not going into the enemy jungle anymore. He's not even going past the river. Yeah. You need to go the team fight and the Ross route. And that's one of the big mistakes. But then again, we still have to go back to the main point. RNG, the reason why they did the lane swap was because Invictus Gaming, they had no other win condition rather than dominant lane. They don't have team fighting comps and they don't have split push. So it's all about the laning phase for Invictus Gaming. And if RNG can just put that into a 50-50 for the early game, they're so far ahead.
Which means that the play styles that we set up all the way at the beginning of the day are staying true all the way through it. The fact of the matter is that this is a ticking clock, and both games have been tick-tock for Invictus Gaming. They ran out of time. They got run over. Fact of the matter, they can't team fight. So throw this out. Start playing those side lanes. Start going back to different picks. I'm not really liking the Urgot for Duke or the Shy. I don't think that was necessarily Duke's fault. He did have some good plays on it, but ultimately I want something like the Jace. Like, I think you need to gamble it all and actually have more threat or a different type of play style, because I can't do this against RNG.
Yeah, it's not bad, but you need more to come from this roster, and it's 2 games in a row where both your strategies have fallen short. And again, on the opposite side, you have RNG. Every time they execute a strategy, it works out perfectly. If we take a look at this early game coming in from the so smart to shut them down in the early game, having the Scion move to the red buff, take this one away, go back to base, and eliminate the vertical jungling coming in from Ning.
And the big thing is that RNG actually start the chain first. So they actually deny Duke before he hits level 2, but around this tower dive, Letme's already level 2. He gets the extra experience, extra HP, and skill.
And again, credit where credit's due. That was very smart from RNG. But what the hell was Ning thinking right there? Like, completely desynced as, like, Tom Kench is walking. He's like, I got the tank, man. That's fine. Ning's like, tank right now, got it. And just gives away first blood for free.
Yeah, it was a sloppy game across the board coming in from Ning. The committal to go for full AD Kane after that point as well, even being on the back foot. And you're right, like the Urgot, it didn't do anything wrong, but it fell very far behind coming out of that lane swap. That's a level 2 Urgot just waddling around when you've got like a level 6 Scion running him down.
I mean, that was just a feel bad for Duke. There's nothing more he could have done. His jungler effectively got shut down. The game was thrown away from him. And again, he still had good plays trying to come back into some of those, you know, early to mid-game team fights. It just, that was never going to be IG's win condition. We saw that, like, IG are down in the lane phase. They were supposed to dominate the lane phase for this comp to work. Now that they haven't, it's simply a matter of time before RNG close out.
Yeah, I mean, they called it out on cast of weather the storm, but weather to what? It's still the apocalypse for you. You know, he's still going to lose when the game goes on. Exactly. If we take a look how the bottom lane does, when I actually really like what Invictus Gaming did. They actually tried to make something happen on the bottom side, but there was no plan B. There was no exit strategy. And RNG, they had a way just to put them in the mousetrap.
Yeah, and this was an easy rundown coming from their side. Actually, this is before that team fight happened. Lemmy's already very far ahead in the map, and he's just able to do these plays. He was 3 levels ahead of the Urgot early on, so the map ability is absolutely massive. And this is the play you were talking about.
And this actually makes sense. Again, you look at the map, you're like, okay, this is a great call from Invictus Gaming. They feel that RNG are committing elsewhere on the map, that they have an easy dive. And who expects RNG to double down like this and for Let Me to come up so huge, as well as Xiaohu chasing on the back half?
And this is why you cannot give Rise over towards RNG. They're so good at these semi-global opportunities. Hey, EDG might be out of the playoffs, but every team in the LPL has a bit of EDG right now.
And it's not even just about the Rise. Constantly look for map mobility in all of RNG's compositions. They run things like the Tom Kench, which is why Invictus Gaming, not only are they trying to protect Jackie Love by picking it away, but ultimately, if you give that to Ming, how they can dissect the map with that semi-global ultimate is disgusting to watch. Tom Kench, Rise, Talia, Sion, these types of picks, you just get beautiful performance from RNG across lanes.
Yeah, and it's from every single role, whereas we look at Invictus Gaming, it seems like, all right, now it's my time to shine. It's like 1 by 1 or maybe 2 by 2, but they're constantly with that one hand behind the back. It doesn't feel like they're all firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, Invictus Gaming, I don't think they're flexible enough to take it to RNG. RNG right now, they're showing a lot of different styles, and also the execution level is so much more higher than Invictus Gaming. If they want to win, I agree, they need something harder in the top lane that can smash the lane and even provide some split pushing. That's the main key.
Now here's the thing, I don't want to put any sort of flame, but I do want to put a name to it, because I don't think it's fair to just say IG can't make this count, because Rookie is playing like a god right now. He's trying his little hardest to try to hold the fort. He goes crazy popping off on the Zoe play to make sure that RNG don't just end it right here, but for me, it's Ning. Yeah, it's easy to point figures at that game just because of the Kayn and the brilliant lane swap that came through, but even if you look at Ning statistically, #1 in solo deaths from the junglers, #1 in damage taken, he's ranked pretty middle of the pack or mediocre in terms of his counter jungling as well as his own jungle. Statistically, Ning isn't relevant, and in team fights, I don't think he's doing his job regardless of what the pick is. I just feel like right now he's being completely outclassed on the map, and this is really starting from the jungle and snowballing into everything else.
So what does the Frostgurin trademark Invictus Gaming composition look like? Is it carry top lane, carry mid lane, tank in the jungle?
I think it needs to be the Zac. I think RNG actually have a good target on understanding a champion that works really well for Ning, because ultimately, Zac can go in and he's got a passive that says, I went in, I tanked, I died, guess what, I'm still alive. It kind of band-aids a lot of his problems, but still allows Invictus Gaming to have that trigger to be aggressive. Camille and Zac are his go-tos, and now that he's been exposed, it doesn't seem like he has anything else to compete with Karsa.
It's so telling that RNG are continuing their triple ban strategy over towards Ning on that side. I don't really think the Ning is the answer. The Zac is the answer, because it gets bullied out so hard by the Trundle coming in from Karsa. But like you said, you need to look for another win condition rather than win lane. RNG, they're no slouches in their early game. They might play slow, but their individual performances are actually very, very high. So you can't expect to win lane every time. I think that's the main pitfall that Invictus Gaming are falling into right now.
I mean, the problem is you're getting the Mad Dog to come out of the gate, so he's not even breaking a sweat. He just gets to farm all the way through the early game and then smash people in team fights. He's going to take a man off the match, and he's larger than life right now. Look at him.
But here's now the real question. It's 2-0 up. RNG possibly looking at the 3-0. Do you pull MLXG and Abel? Do you put in Zatai? Do you mix up the roster just to put salt in the wound?
He hands Abel the revolver and it's like, you take the shot. Is this how this is going to end?
I have prepared them.
Yeah, it's like, how bad does that feel if you're Invictus Gaming? Because every time you fought the final hurdle, and right here, it's just like RNG might be toying with their food.
Yeah, I really don't think Abel comes up. It could happen. They did it in the previous 2 series to give them experience.
Comes up?
No, you give it a statement match. You give it a statement match. Oh, look, MLXG, he's not the best jungler on the team, but he is my favorite player.
And I
do want to see him play, but not here, not now.
Don't we all?
I will say this. It was Karsa that actually got to carry the trophy back in from spring to the start of summer, and Karsa didn't get an opportunity to shine in the previous final. It was MLXG that stayed true. So I actually agree with you. I would expect that Karsa would stay just to have that opportunity. He carried the trophy in, let him carry it out.
You need to have him get his turn on, because he only played 1 game in the spring finals and the rest of it with MLXG. This is Karsa's turn to shine.
Yeah, frankly, it doesn't seem like RNG are going to break a sweat through this entire final. We are going to take a short break, but as we go, we're going to take a look at one of the 7th anniversary performances we had yesterday. Let's take a look.